D, wait for it, delightful.
Check out the name tag. You're in my world now, Grandma.
What's up, nerds? So I finished season 3, episode 11 of Superman and Lois. Of course, you knew that if you're watching this. But I just want to say that the episode was pretty good. Again, it's not as action-packed as I would liked it to be, but at the same time, it was still, the writing on this show is still good. I just wish, there was more action sequences this season. But at the same time, if they have just a big blowout with Bizarro in the next episode, because we got a little tease for him again, then Daddy will be happy, We also got a tease in the promo for next episode, Lex Luthor. He's not bald, though. I don't understand why everybody thinks that Lex Luthor should have hair. I'm sorry. Everybody knows him as iconically bald, so come on. So this episode was good. We did see that Onomatopoeia left this world, which is, sad, but at the same time, it had to happen sooner or later. And I did really enjoy this episode in terms of the show. The writing is still solid on this show. The acting is definitely solid on this show. I did enjoy it immensely. So I just think that if they keep up this momentum, I think that I'll be happy. I do think that they need to have when it comes to this kind of thing. I think that we've shown that Superman can have enemies that he can't defeat, like cancer. But at the same time, that's not what I'm here for. So I think for next season, and there better be a next season, maybe have a more physical enemy kind of thing. All right, I'm not going to take up too much of your time with this breakdown. I just want I'll give you my thoughts as we go along and everything, and I'll try to move it along and stuff. But this episode did touch on some stuff like mental health and everything, and it was quite nice. Okay. But before I get started on this, I just want to say that if you like what I do here and you enjoy independent content here on YouTube, please consider subscribing to my channel. YouTube is always changing up their algorithm. Small channels like mine, we just keep getting shoved to the back of the line. So please ask that you like, share, and subscribe, and I thank you in advance. All right, now that we got that out of the way, let's get started on this breakdown. So it starts off, there's just noise going all over the city, like these like attacks and everything. And these cops show up and they're like, where's the shooter? There's like this bullet rain fire and everything. They're like, where's the shooter? I don't see anybody. And got their guns drawn and everything. People are scared. And she's like, Superman, people are scared. When are these attacks going to happen? Stop. And he flies up and he can't find Onomatopoeia. And she's using her little powers or whatnot. And he can't locate her. And this is not my onomatopoeia from the comic books, Intergang, Bruno Mannheim, all of this. None of this is my stuff from the comic books. I think they've completely changed it, but I'll address that in like a later on, like in a season review or something like that. Okay, so let's we're moving on. So then Lois is at the hospital. She's doing her prep work for her surgery, which is the next day. And the doctor is just explaining how things are going to go down. And they just tell her that they're going to have all their friends over tonight for her last meal before her surgery. So then Onomatopoeia is using her powers and she's feeling good because she's all cured, right? And I have to just say, when it comes to Bruno and Pia, I don't feel bad for them. I know they're trying. I don't like this in TV shows, but they do this thing where they try to make their villains sympathetic. And I go, listen, I understand that she had cancer and he was trying to cure her. That part's not the bad part. It's before she got cancer. They were bad people. That doesn't exclude them from, their past sins. One good deed, a lifetime of sin that does not forgive, kind of thing. So I'm sorry. They're still bad people, just she got cancer and she had a kid. So Mateo, I kind of feel a little bit bad for Mateo, but at the same time, I'm all like, his motivations are different. They just keep all of these shows just keep trying to make villains sympathetic. And I just go, I don't want a sympathetic bad guy. I want a baddie. I want my villains bad and my good guys good. And I want them to let them fight. So she's like, I'm sorry you had to do that. And he's all like, hey, Mom, I did this. I wanted you to get better. It was worth it. And I get that part. Again, I get the motivations. I'm not with Mateo and with Bruno Mannheim trying to cure his wife, but that still does not excuse that they're bad people. Like she killed people, he killed people. That's just how it is. Okay, they're bad people. So while she's doing this, she clears the throat. She's like, and then she gives a little cough, and when she does her little sound waves go off, her little sonic booms. So back at Smallville, he's talking to Clark about how he's Superman. He's like, sorry for pantsing you in high school, and he's like, it's fine. Just don't. We're not gonna do it again. So then Chrissy's all like, isn't it great, babe? Now you know. And he's like, yeah, but you lied to me. And she's like, but you just heard Clark. He said we have to keep it a secret. And he's like, yeah, that doesn't. He's like, you called me a crazy person when I tried to bring evidence to you. And you know what gets me about people like this? Is this, and this happens a lot in TV shows and stuff like that. But obviously Chris, so if this happened to him, vice versa, and he didn't tell her, he would say the same thing that she's saying to him. But because she's saying it to him, oh, now it's all like, you called me a crazy person, you lied to me. And I'm all like, oh, shut up, Kyle. You would have lied to her if the roles were reversed. So get over yourself. Everybody in these shows needs to get over themselves. Because if Superman told you he was Superman, and then he told you not to tell anybody, and then you didn't tell anybody, and you lied for him, everybody would do that. So it's so obnoxious when people in these TV shows. So they break up, kind of. He leaves. So they get bazungas. Or bazoombas. What is that? Bazoombas. Yeah, bazoombas. It's just their version of Hooters. And she's like, can I just go home? She's like, no, you're staying with until I can trust you. You're staying here. And so they brought a veggie tray. What? Sheep. Anyways, so she's like, well, we got Lois some bazoomba. She's got a great sense of humor. And she's like, do I smell bazoombas? And she's like, yeah. So they eat bazoombas. It just looks like Hooters food, you know. They got good chicken wings and booby tassels and stuff. So yay. So he's all like, Sarah, I'm just gonna go and eat somewhere else. So then they're all like, you know, she's in here talking about Mateo. She's like, but I love him. You know, it's so funny because every high schooler is the same, even in real life. They're just like, Mom, but I love him. And you're all like, oh, get over yourself. You don't even know. We barely know where your nose is at 16, let alone if you're in love. So Sarah sees him, what's his face, Jordan go out to the porch, and she's like, seriously, you're just not going to come and talk to me kind of thing. And I can't remember what he says, but it's just, they're just like not talking, because remember last time he said, I wish I wouldn't have fallen in love with you. And she's like, I feel the same way. And I'm all like, oh, you guys need to just get over yourself. Either you're not going to be friends or you're just going to be pissed off at each other. He needs to get over it. She's not coming back. She messed up and everything by cheating and broke his trust. And then he simped for her. And it's just you guys need to move on and find somebody new. So they're sitting here and they're talking. And she's like, this really lifted my spirits. She's like, good. She's like, I never thought bazoombas would make me cry. And it's like, oh, get over it. God, it's so stupid. But so anyway, so they go in for their surgery. And she sits down and they're just like, give me your phone. She's like, you're liking this too much. The dad's talking and stuff. And she's like, the doctor will be in soon. And you can ask all your questions. So then she wakes up and she's all like, oh, you scared me. She's like, what are you doing upstairs? She's like, I can't sleep. She's like, Mom, I messed everything up. She's like, a DUI stays on your record for 5 years. How am I going to apply for college? And she's like, I don't know. We'll figure something out. And she's like, I'm never going to get out of Smallville. And I'm all like, listen, don't get me wrong. Schooling is important, but if you want to get out of your small town, pack up your shit and leave. Like, I'm sorry. Like this whole, I'm staying in my small town business. It's like, listen, get the $20 that you have in your bank account, take it out and just go. You'll figure shit out. That's what I don't understand. Like, listen, after high school, I left the state that I lived in for a year. I just figured it out, and you'll get a job. Okay. And if you can't get a job, you'll live somewhere where, it's not, the best or whatever. You just figure it out. So anyway, so she's all like, I ruined everything. And so she's worried. And so Nat goes to the Mannheim house and she plants her AI there. And her dad comes and she's like, you tracked my suit? And he's all like, Nat. And she's all like, I have to find him, Dad. I love him so much. And he's like, we'll figure this out. But He's all like, you can't be putting yourself in danger. There, by the way, their suits are really cool looking. I just want to say that right now. They haven't worn their suits enough in this season. Because their suits are really cool. I don't know what this is made out of, but it's really cool looking. And I wish they wore them more often this season, but I guess not so much. But she left the AI behind here. It's right here. I can't get it. Hold on. We'll just play this. There it is. She left her AI thing there to tell her when what's his face there. So the doctor comes in, and all the doctors come in and they start talking, and he's all like, "What about if she starts to choke, kind of thing, or whatever during the surgery?" And she's like, "That's really rare." And Jordan, his X-ray powers start coming in, but it's manifested as a panic attack, or they think it's panic attack. So then while this is going on, he leaves and he's like, I got him. So he goes in and he's like, just close your eyes. And he's like, I can't close my eyes. And his X-ray vision is coming in, and his brother really helps him out. And he gets over that really fast. So then back at the Mannheim place, they're getting all this stuff ready. And she's all like, he's like, the train's ready. We're about to get out of here, kind of thing. And then all of a sudden she's like, and her powers start to kick in, kind of thing. And she shuts down the block, the electricity or whatnot. And sorry, the power grid is going off and everything just because P is there. I can't see their apartment from here. It's like this one, we'll say. Anyways. So then the power keeps going on or whatnot. And he's like, we need to stop here. And then long story short, he's like, get the injections because the injections don't work. But Lana comes over and she's like, I need to talk to you. She's like, what'd you and Chrissy have a fight? It doesn't matter right now. We need to talk about her daughter. She's like, I haven't seen her this bad since she tried to end herself and things are bad. She's like, we need to talk to her. It's like, all right, I'm coming. So then these two, they're just chit chatting and waiting for this. And Lois goes in. So he injects her with the thing. She's like, oh, much better. And then it works for like 2 seconds. Then she's like, and her powers start kicking in. And then he's like, I'm going to go get help. But hold on. I wanted to play something. So this guy is all like, Pia, stop or whatever. And then this guy, they're like, get out here. And she's like, no, wait. And then bam, she just blasted him. He popped like a balloon, like a meat balloon full of meat. He's just like, and everything. I was like, shit. They need to do more stuff like that in this season, but they didn't do it. And then he's like, I'm going to go get help. And I'm like, what are you going to do, kid? I'm like, what are you going to go try to call 911? And he's like, Pia, she's like, it's not working. It's gotten worse, kind of thing. So she leaves. Apologies. It's early morning as of recording this. So then she goes in for the surgery. And then they're like, we need to find Pia and stop her before she like destroys everything. So he goes in to call 911. I don't know. And he says like, Natalie will be arriving in 3, 2, 1. And she shows up and he's like, would you come to arrest me? And she's like, no, I wanted to talk to you. I love you. He's like, my mom, I need help. And Bruno comes in and he's like, get away from my son. Then these guys are talking. He's like, listen, I used to be an alcoholic. And she's like, I'm not an alcoholic. He's like, but you're like, when you're at your lowest, you just gotta kind of like find something to take your mind off of it. And he's all like, you're gonna become a waitress. Hold on, let me look. You're gonna get a job. And she's like, seriously? And he's like, yeah, seriously, because you're all 10 shades of messed up. There's more to that, but I just don't want to get into it because it's like, yeah. So then while he's doing this, then dad shows up. I want to play this because it's like the only action. And then that's super cool. And bam. And he's all like, bam. He's like, you want to feel my hammer, motherfucker? And so then he's like, please, we need help with my Pia and everything. So she goes out on the streets and he's like, got her. And there's this big M. I don't know what that is. But Mannheim. So then he sees that the cancer in her is just huge. Like there's so much going on. And she's like, it hurts and everything. She's like, you have to get out of here. The Mannheim Towers. That's fun. and her powers are just going off, and it blasts him away. But then he goes back for more. He's like, now you have to help my mom, and she's all like, there's nothing I can do, dude. And they're like, you have to get away out of the way from the block, or you have to get her away, or she'll take down the block. He saves her from a hydrogen tank falling. So he's like, Pia, he's like, I'm here to help and everything. And she's like, you can't help me. And so then he picks her up and takes her up into the sky. And then it explodes. Hold on, hold on. So they go up into the sky, and then we get this big explosion. Like, that's cool. And so that was pretty cool because it was like when you see like a missile underneath water explode, but it was like in the sky. I was like, that's a pretty cool effect. And then he brings the body back to them, and this was sad. And then by the way, but these two, their crying was very not good. I'm like, you guys. Like it was like it was like and I'm all like, I didn't think your acting was bad before, but I do think this part is bad. Like maybe you guys need to work on your crying, your cry acting. Because I don't think either one of although the kid Mateo, his acting sometimes is not as good, but the guy that plays Bruno does a good job, but not in this crying part. This part I was like, you're not doing the best job. So he's like, I'm sorry, this part was a little iffy. She gets an application, which I'm like, oh my god, they still have those. I haven't filled out a paper application in years. It's all online, so they're still waiting for her to get out of surgery, and she gets out and everything went well. So then they're ready to party. She gets this. She's like, oh, does this have to be so 1950s? And he's like, it's a staple of Smallville. And I cannot remember what they say here. And so he goes back and he forgives Chrissy for this, which he should, because he's being ridiculous. He would have done the same thing. And so they make out, and then they go to Bruno Mannheim, and he's like, listen, he's like, I'll admit to everything if you let Mateo off the hook. Like, you have to let my son go. And that's how he's going to get out of it. And, yeah. And so then back at the house, she's all like, I'm getting Superman service here and everything. It's like, yeah, you're about to get serviced. But I can't remember what she says here, but then back at Bruno's house in the basement, Bizarro wakes up. He's all like, oh, oh, oh. No, I'm blocking it. And that's where it ends. And it's very cool. I'm super glad that Bizarro is coming back into this. It's going to be super awesome. And so that's where the episode ends, with Bizarro. And I don't know if you watched the promo for the next episode, but that one is going to have Lex Luthor in it, like I said before. And I think that that's good. It's going to be good. I am excited for next episode, for the rest of the season, a little bit more than I have for this past portion of the season, because, yeah, I'm still happy with this season in terms of like the writing and stuff. It's just, like I said before, a little bit more action, please. Yeah, a little less talk, a lot more action, if you get what I'm saying. But yeah, but I'm going to end it there just because I don't have really anything else to say. But tell me what you guys thought about this episode. Did you like it? Did you not like it? What was your favorite part? Who's your favorite character? All that good stuff. It's got to be Superman, right? Superman's awesome. All right. Tell me what you guys think. Go ahead and leave all your comments in that section down below. If you like this video, go and hit that like button. You know I won't mind. If you're new to my channel, please hit that subscribe button. I'd greatly appreciate it. And I will see you guys on my next Superman and Lois breakdown review. You guys have a good week. Bye.